Level 1. Shikomi. You wake up before anyone else in the house. It is still dark. The wooden floors are cold under your feet. You are 15 years old, and you are not a student yet. You are a maid. Your job is to clean. You sweep the genkin. You press the older women's kimono. You scrub the kitchen. In the afternoon, you walk to the Nyakoba school and learn the shamisen, the drum, the basics of classical dance. Then you come back and cook dinner. Then you wait. The Geiko leave for their evening engagements wearing silk that costs more than your mother makes in a year. You help them dress. You tie the obi. You do not touch your own hair. You wear a plain cotton kimono. No makeup. No ornament. Nothing that would make anyone look at you. They come home past midnight. You wait in the entrance hall to greet them. You help them undress. You go to bed at 2 in the morning. The catch is this. You are already in debt. Every lesson, every meal, every night in this house is being written into a ledger. You owe money for the privilege of staying. You don't complain. You watch. You are waiting to become visible. Level 2. Minarai. You passed the test. You stayed when it was hard. You kept your mouth shut when it was harder. Now they hand you a jar of white face paint and tell you to sit down. For 1 month, you wear the costume, but cannot use it. The makeup is yours. The kanzashi in your hair are yours. The kimono is elaborate, borrowed, already drawing eyes. But your voice is not invited anywhere yet. You follow your Oneesan to the tea house. You sit against the wall. You watch her pour sake. You watch her laugh at the right moment, go quiet at the right moment, perform a dance you have practiced 100 times. You do not perform. You observe. The tea house charges the clients 1/3 of the normal rate for your presence. You are decorative. You are a background figure in a room full of foreground people. The catch is the closeness. You are 1 step from the stage. You can see it, smell the lacquer and the candle wax, hear the shamisen, and you sit with your hands folded in your lap, perfectly still, learning by looking at what you cannot yet touch. Level 3. Junior Maiko. On the morning of your debut, you and your Oneesan drink sack from the same cup, 3 sips each, 3 cups. Then you walk out into the hanamachi together. After today, you are a Maiko. The ceremony is called misadashi. It means open for business. The dorari obi is 7 meters of silk. It hangs long down your back. The kanzashi in your hair catch the light. Your wooden sandals add 5 inches to your height, and you have trained for months to walk in them without looking down. Tourists stop when they see you on the street. Some raise their phones. You keep walking. Every evening, you attend ozashiki, the banquet rooms where businessmen and politicians drink and talk and pay to be entertained. You pour sake. You play drinking games. You perform a dance when requested. In the morning, you go back to school. Dance, shamisen, singing, tea ceremony. The lessons never stop. The catch is the pillow. Your elaborate hairstyle must be set by a specialist every week and preserved between visits. You sleep on a takamakura, a wooden support the size of a neck roll to keep the style intact. In some houses, the Okasan scatters rice around the pillow, stand at night to check if you moved. Some Maiko develop bald patches at the center of the scalp from the mechanical stress. This is understood. This is not discussed. Level 4. Senior Maiko. You have been at this for 3 years. You know which clients prefer silence and which prefer performance. You know which tea house has the strictest rules and which Okasan will let a conversation run long. Junior Maiko watch you the way you once watched your Oneesan. You notice this and feel nothing in particular about it. You are too busy to feel nostalgic. Your hairstyle has changed. The Sako style is worn only in the final months before a Maiko's graduation. Everyone in the Hanamachi reads it like a clock. They know what it means. The tea house proprietresses know. The clients know. Your younger sisters know. They are already thinking about who you will become when the collar turns. You are at the peak of what this stage can offer. The most photographed figure in the district. The most requested apprentice in the house. And that is exactly the problem. The catch is this. A Maiko draws attention by existing. The youth, the trailing silk, the elaborate hair. These do the work before you open your mouth. When the collar turns white, all of that is gone. A Geiko must earn every glance through skill alone. Some Maiko find reasons to delay the Irike. The Okasan notices. She sets the date anyway. In 40 days, you will lose the easiest power you will ever hold. Level 5. Junior Geiko. The morning of your Irike, you go to the hairdresser for the last time. She removes the kanzashi. She removes the bindings. The Maiko hairstyle comes apart in her hands. You watch it in the mirror. Then she puts on the wig. The red collar is now white. The 7-meter dorari obi is gone. You wear kimono in subdued, sophisticated colors. Your jewelry is minimal. You look at yourself and recognize almost nothing. Your first ozashiki is a full geiko as that same evening. The room does not go quiet when you walk in. There is no trailing silk to command attention before you sit down. The clients are pleasant, polite. They do not lean towards you the way they leaned when you were in the apprentice costume. costume. You understand quickly. You were the spectacle. Now you must be the experience. Those are very different things. You go home and sit with that information. The catch is the debt. Every kimono, every lesson, every year of training since Shikomi, the Okasan has kept the ledger. You will not own your own earnings until the balance is cleared. It takes years. You know this. You also know that the Maiko who quit before Arake cleared nothing. You keep working. You are learning to make them remember you without the costume doing it for you. That is the whole art. That is where it actually begins. Level 6. Establish Geiko. Clients request you by name now. You have a specialty. You choose your own kanzashi. You pay for your own kimono, season by season, each one more expensive than the last. The ledger is closed. Your earnings are entirely yours. You are one of the known names in the Hanamachi. Tea house proprietresses who once watched you pour your first sock now reserve their best rooms for your evenings. You perform for politicians, executives, families whose money is old enough to have its own history. You enter the room and the younger women stand. You sit and the conversation begins. You have a dana, a formal arrangement managed through the Okasan, with a patron who covers the largest expenses in exchange for exclusive social access. The kimono he sponsors costs more than a car. It is worn twice, stored in cedar, and represents an obligation that is never spoken in public. You understand the terms. You accepted them. It is a transaction conducted at the highest register, with the full ceremony of the karyakai wrapped around it. The catch is the math. You cannot marry. Marriage is retirement from the profession. Your dana funds the art and defines the limit of your world in the same gesture. Every beautiful thing you own, someone purchased. Every room you enter through someone else's invitation. You have mastered effortlessness. You have not mastered freedom. Some evenings, late after the clients have gone, the tea house Okasan pours you tea. Just you two. You drink it without speaking. That is enough. That has always been enough. Level 7. Oneesan. The Okasan calls you in. A new Maiko is ready for her Misadashi. She needs an older sister, someone whose name will mean something on the debut announcement. She looks at you across the desk, and you understand what she is asking without her finishing the sentence. The ceremony is called Sansen Kudo. You and the new Maiko share sake from the same cup. 3 sips each. 3 cups, the same ritual used in wedding ceremonies. After today, she is your Iemoto, your younger sister. Her failures carry your name. Her successes reflect your teaching. You bring her to the Ozashiki. She walks a half step behind you. You correct the angle of her bow in the hallway before you enter. She gets it right. You say nothing and walk in. Your job is to teach what cannot be taught in school. How to read a room without scanning it. How to make a difficult client feel heard without giving him anything. When to perform and when to be still. You learned this by watching your own Oneesan. You learned the rest by failing quietly until you didn't. The catch is visibility. The Hanamachi watches the young Maiko with the fresh, hungry attention they once gave you. She is the subject of conversation. You are the frame. If she fails publicly, your name is in the failure. If she succeeds, you watch her become the thing you were, knowing you will never be that particular thing again. You give her the nod across a banquet room when she makes her first client laugh. That is the entire reward. It turns out to be enough. Level 8. Okasan. You run the house now. The office is a small tatami room. There is a desk. There is a telephone. There is a row of scheduling books. On the wall, photographs of every Maiko who has ever debuted from this Okiya, arranged in chronological order. You know every face. You know which ones stayed, which ones left, which ones became great, and which ones burned out quietly before they got there. This morning, you interviewed a 15-year-old girl from Osaka. You looked at her hands. You watched how she sat. You asked her 2 questions and listened to how she answered them. You have done this many times. You know within 10 minutes, your job is the ledger and the relationships and the judgment calls that shape careers. You decide when a Maiko is ready. You set the Arike date. You negotiate with tea house proprietresses and Dana candidates and the Hanamachi Association. You manage the economics of beauty. Kimono, lessons, housing, fees. All of it flows through your desk. When you enter a room, everyone stands. When you leave, they exhale. You have watched Okasan before you carry this authority for 30 years. Now it is yours. The catch is the shamisen in the corner of your office. You own it. You do not play it. The woman you were, the one who performed, who had a dana, who made clients request her by name, she left slowly, in increments, until one day you sat down at the desk and she was gone. Late at night, after the house is quiet, you walk through every room and turn off the lights. You are the last one awake. You have been for years. This will not change. Level 9. Iemoto. The theater is full. Every seat. The program lists the name of the performance, the names of the performers, and at the top, Above all of it, your name. You sit in the front row. Every eye in the house that is not watching the stage is watching you watch the stage. You are the head of the school, not a house, a lineage. Every Geiko in your tradition pays a fee to perform in your style. Every technique, every fan angle, every gesture, in every recital, in every Hanamachi affiliated with your school exists because you certified it. You grant the permissions that allow a Maiko to advance, a Geiko to teach, a teacher to pass the standard to the next generation. Every promotion in your artistic world moves through you. There is no one above you. In the Karyukai, in matters of art, there is no higher authority. When you enter a room, the bow is not just low, it is held. On the stage, a young Maiko executes a fan movement at a slightly wrong angle. You say nothing. You know she will learn. You remember learning it yourself 50 years ago, from a woman whose name most people in this room have never heard, in a house that no longer exists. The catch is this: you are no longer a person who practices an art. You are the art. You cannot have a visible opinion that reflects poorly on the school. You cannot be uncertain in public. You cannot be human in public. Every gesture is interpreted as tradition. You became the lineage so completely that you cannot remember which movements were originally yours and which ones you inherited. This is the highest form of success the Karyukai offers. You are surrounded by your own legacy in every direction and completely alone inside it. You chose this life, or rather, this was the life that chose you.